Hey guys, what is happening? So another book down. Really quick read, which I really enjoyed. Started it yesterday, finished it today. Oh, oops. Hold on. My computer's on. Just close that there. All right, guys. So, talking about Blade Volume 2, Night Stalkers, which, like I said, started it yesterday, finished it today. 432 pages, guys. It's a very quick read. All it has, well, not all it, well, I was gonna say all it has as if to sound like it has nothing in there. It actually has quite a bunch of good stuff in here. We have the 4-book limited series of, Tomb of Dracula. Apparently it's the 3rd volume, and it's in book form. It's in 4 parts, and each book is like 55 pages. So you're looking at roughly a 200-page novelization split in 4 parts. Tomb of Dracula has Blade. Actually, Blade does not appear in book 1, but he does appear in 2, 3, and 4. Dracula comes back. Some dude named Gregor Smirnov, who's a friend of Frank Drake, is trying to resurrect Dracula so that he can make him immortal because he's dying. Gregor is dying, so he wants Dracula to make him immortal. Of course, Dracula doesn't see it that way and decides to fuck with everybody. He fucks with Frank Drake, who's a descendant of his. Frank Drake is a descendant of Dracula. He's married to this chick named Marlene McKenna, who's been possessed by Rachel Van Helsing. Rachel Van Helsing became a vampire. I do remember that, but then she got killed by Dracula in the X-Men Annual 6. That was recently in the Brood Saga, which was Volume 9 of X-Men that was featured. And yeah, Blade appears. Later on, Hannibal King joins Frank and Blade to form the Night Stalkers. Night Stalkers #1. It's another 40 pages. The first issue is a 40-pager where they take on Lilith, the Queen of the Demons. And the first 6 issues of Night Stalkers is written by D.G. Chichester. Dun, dun, dun. D.G. Chichester right there, guys. As we know, the infamous, not-so-great writer of Daredevil. Here he's slightly better, but his writing is still not exciting or engaging. I don't want to come down on the guy. Just D.G. Chichester likes to talk a lot. Like my gripe with his writing in Daredevil was that he always wrote the wrong medium, like film noir for comic books that didn't altogether feel satisfactory or satisfying. And he's doing that with a supernatural tale, but for the most part, it's fun. It does remind me of the Maximum Carnage storyline in that, hold on, because I'm like, what? How is that possible? There's a part where the Night Stalkers, Frank, Hannibal, and Blade team up with Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch, and Johnny Blaze, and Morbius, and also Doctor Strange kinda, sort of, is there. He actually broke Blade out of the sanitarium. Ooh, well, okay. Spoiler alert, guys. At the end of Tomb of Dracula, Blade ends up institutionalized because he becomes so obsessed with trying to kill Dracula that Frank steals it away from him. But evidently they made amends. Doctor Strange broke Blade out of a mental hospital and is like, I need you to help stop Lilith because Lilith is trying to kill Ghost Rider. And so Danny Ketch's soul or spirit is trapped in a nether dimension or a limbo. So Ghost Rider, who's been separated from Danny Ketch, and Johnny Blaze, the original or the first Ghost Rider, technically not the first, technically it was the Phantom Rider. But anyway, you guys know what I mean. So Johnny Blaze, the former Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider, not Danny Ketch, are trying to save Dan Ketch's spirit. But Lilith doesn't want that, so she hires the Night Stalkers to kill Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze. And of course, they figure out Lilith's plot and they defeat her. They defeat her her children called the Lilin. And that's it. That's the end. That was actually it's part of the Rise of the Midnight Sun storyline. You only get parts 5 and 6, part 5 being the first issue of Night Stalkers, and issue 31 of Ghost Rider. The first 4 are, they're like in Darkhold. It even tells you, okay, who cares? I'm not going to look through it. But it's like in like Darkhold. It's in, no, actually, you know what? Where's my stupid ugly glasses? Here. It's really cool though, because you get now these black paneling, so it really adds to the dark, spooky artwork by Ron Garney. Ron Garney does the artwork. Oh, here we go. So it gives you a little key right here. So Ghost Rider 28 was part 1, Spirits of Vengeance 1 was part 2, Morbius number 1 was part 3, Darkhold number 1 was part 4, and Ghost Rider 31 was part 6, and Night Stalkers number 1 was part 5. So a lot of number 1, a lot of first issues kicked off certain parts within this storyline, but you only get 5 and 6, not 1 through 4. They don't even tell you what happened in the first 4 issues of this storyline, Rise of the Midnight Suns. What do you call it? 5 and 6, issues 5 and 6, we get the Punisher. I thought it was pretty interesting and neat that the Punisher joins in and helps Blade, and that was really cool. Punisher, Blade, Hannibal King, and Frank Drake fight this dude named Shiv, who's like this cult leader, and he attacks his family, and then his son and his wife get killed, but the father lives, and then he becomes like this like inflamed zombie ghoul who's trying to avenge the murder of his family. Punisher goes to visit him and promises to kill Shiv for him, but then he inadvertently turns the guy into a zombie, like a revenge-seeking zombie. It was a really weird story, really weird. And D.G. Chichester wrote it. Again, it wasn't terrible. It's just, I don't know. It's funny. The supernatural isn't always too exciting, unless it's like Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'm smelling my finger again. But for the most part, I enjoyed the stories. It seemed to have less to do with Blade than everybody else. This is a Blade book, but I don't know. There was really there was enough of Blade to make it, to make Blade fans happy, but it wasn't a Blade solo story. None of the stories had anything directly, just singularly on Blade. It was Blade with these other people. The story with Tomb of Dracula seemed more about Frank Drake trying to save his wife against Dracula more than Blade. Blade was like a secondary character throughout, or an ensemble character. But the stories were very good. Hold on, actually, let me just see something real quick. Yeah, Doctor Strange shows up every now and then. Really nice artwork, again, by Ron Garney. Ghost Rider 31 was actually written by Howard Mackey and artwork by Andy Kubert. And yeah, Tomb of Dracula was written by Marv Wolfman and artwork by Gene Colan, which was awesome. All 4 books just had that really uncanny Gene Colan scary. And this is like 1991, 1992. So Gene Colan did not lose his step at all. Just great paneling, great artwork, very dark, and also very violent at some points. Like Dracula kept like poking dudes' eyeballs out, and like their skulls and flame heads and stuff. It's just really awesome detail with the fire and the fangs. This is the Tomb of Dracula, by the way. Yeah, Blade gets institutionalized. And he's like, I'll get you for this Drake. Frank Drake, the descendant of Dracula. Yeah, this was cool. Yeah, this is when Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze are trying to save the soul of Danny Ketch. Yeah, there's Blade now with the customary red shirt. It just hit me. He looks like a Negan from The Walking Dead. Like he wears the same outfit as Negan. Blade and Negan look similar. Okay. See, this picture right here was actually in the back here. I was wondering, where is this from? And this is from the cover here is from a poster. So not from an album cover, a comic book cover, an issue cover. The night's no longer safe for your kind. That's Hannibal King right there. Hannibal King, Frank Drake, and of course, Blade. These are the Night Stalkers. Excuse me. Just looking real quick. Hold on a second. I wanted to see where that was from. Hold on. Yeah, Lilith. Oh, okay, so never mind. Oh, it's the last page. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's the last page of Night Stalkers #1. That's where this comes from, which I've never seen. I've never seen them actually for a front or back cover. I've never seen them use a page within the story, so that's pretty unique. There's no Blade issues, no nothing with the Blade title, so they had to make up a Blade logo right there. Yeah, it's so cool. Look at that, Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider together. The DOA. Oh yeah, and Hydra appears. Hydra, Baron von Strucker wants to create a vampiric stormtrooper army. So they're trying to kidnap Hannibal King. And of course, Blade and Frank prevent that. Yeah, this is DOA. These guys are called DOA. Not Dead on Arrival. I forgot what their name was. It was a dumb name, but hardly worth mentioning. Yeah, a lot of vampire stuff. Morbius did appear. And then he disappeared. What else? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, The Punisher. The Punisher appeared in issue 5 and 6, which were the last 2 issues for this volume of Night Stalker. Shiv. Yeah, Shiv was weird. Yeah, Frank Castle. It's so badass. It's funny how Frank Castle could fight drug dealers and criminals and crooks, and then suddenly fight vampires and mutants and stuff like that. Although he doesn't really interact with the X-Men, I don't think, but he does eventually become a cosmic Ghost Rider, which I found out. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, there's nothing to it. And then of course the Midnight Suns Unlimited was like an 8-page story where they fight gargoyles. Overall, it was a fun read. Blade, I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't know what volume 3 will be. I do know that volume 1 predominantly is Tomb of Dracula from the 70s, but I don't know how they're gonna pull that off without ruining a Tomb of Dracula epic, if that ever comes to pass. But my final analysis, guys, is 90s Blade, but it's not really Blade. He's part of the ensemble. It's Night Stalkers, basically. Good stuff. D.G. Chichester, love him or hate him, or his writing rather. But the artwork is really good, and I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen next. I mean, if they're gonna if they're gonna put out Night Stalker issues, I mean, what's to keep them from releasing Luke Cage from the 90s, or Nomad comic books, So I'm not really interested in Night Stalkers per se. Hopefully they'll put out some modern Blade stuff. I don't know. I don't even know if did they ever have Blade in a modern comic? I don't even know. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments, because I'm at a loss. That's pretty much it, guys. It was a very quick read, 432 pages, like I said. Blade. So now that I'm done with Hulk, I'm gonna bust through the new issues that just came, new volumes that came out. So I'm gonna actually start with right here. Is gonna be my next book, guys. Right here, volume 10 of X Factor, Wreaking Havoc, covering 1995 to 1997. So we're going to jump right back into the X books. I think I'll do X-Force Volume 4 Toy Soldiers after this one. Or maybe even Marvel 2-in-1 Volume 3. I don't know. There's so much to read. And then, of course, New Mutants is coming. New Mutants Volume 4. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 11. Soon we'll get Fantastic Four Volume 11. That'll be, I think, next week. So, really good stuff, guys. So this is my next book, X Factor Volume 10, Wreaking Havoc. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you've already read Blade Volume 2 Night Stalkers. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good night and enjoy your weekend. Bye.